Quote, this committee is committed to providing rigorous oversight of the Defense Department's military operations in the Caribbean. We take seriously the reports of follow-on strikes on boats alleged to be ferrying narcotics and are taking bipartisan action to gather a full accounting of the operation in question. That is a statement signed by the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee, Congressman Adam Smith. It also, and this is news, it also is signed by the Republican chairman of that committee. Republicans joining Democrats in pledging to investigate something the Trump administration did. Lions lying down with the lambs. It's like cats volunteering for baths. It's like the Jets winning a football game. What is going on here? Joining us now is Congressman Adam Smith of Washington, the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee in the House. Sir, thank you very much for being with us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Rachel. And ironically, the Jets did win a football game this weekend. So I guess we're living in a bizarre world all of a sudden.
I'm just exactly my point. The craziest things imaginable can happen. Let me ask you first, for those of our viewers who are thinking, listen, the strikes to blow up these boats in the Caribbean seem illegal enough. Why is it worse? Why is it a qualitatively different scenario? Why is it so much more upsetting to members of Congress that there was a follow-on strike to kill survivors of one of these initial attacks?
Look, that's a very fair question. In my opinion, there's not that much of a difference. I've always felt these boat strikes were illegal for a wide variety of reasons. What seems to have made it different is it has gotten the attention of Republicans in Congress. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get through this crack in this issue here to get a focus on what is a clearly illegal action. I love the fact that you went right to the UCMJ textbook that said this is what we're talking about that you can't do. So out of that crack, I hope, number one, we can pursue this, absolutely, because I think we had a clear instance, if this happened the way it has been reported, of a war crime, but then go beyond that. What's going on with the entire operation? It isn't even really about drugs, it doesn't seem, if Trump is pardoning a major convicted drug dealer from Honduras because he happens to like the political party the guy's with. So this is a crack to get to the wider issue, and I think it's worth focusing on that point you just made. That the reason that it's illegal to hit these two guys when they're clinging to the side of a sinking boat is because they pose no threat to the U.S. or U.S. forces. But the same can be said of that boat before it was hit in the first place. Whatever you think about drugs and cocaine and the impact, that is not a military definition of a threat to U.S. persons and U.S. forces.
I'm glad that you mentioned the apparent irony of the president alleging that Venezuela is such a threat to the United States because of drug trafficking, that he's ascribing to the president of Venezuela that we are effectively in a state of war with Venezuela, and that has led to these bizarre, I think, arguably, pretty clearly extra-legal, illegal actions in the Caribbean against these boats. That's all happening on one side of the ledger, while on the other side of the ledger, the president is pledging to pardon the former president of Honduras, who was convicted of mass-scale drug smuggling of cocaine into the United States. I mean, in the hundreds of tons territory. Because of that, because that sort of gives lie to the drug trafficking explanation for what's going on with us in Venezuela, does that give you any more clarity on why they are ratcheting up these tensions with Venezuela to the point where it almost feels like it may be war any day now?
Look, I personally have had clarity for some time. With Donald Trump, this is about his personal power. And it's also about his 19th century belief in spheres of influence. You know, that the Western Hemisphere is ours. And Petro and Venezuela are refusing to bend the knee to Trump. That's why he's going after them. It's not about drugs. It's about his power over the region. It's the same reason that he's selling out Ukraine to Russia, in this belief of strongman rule and spheres of influence. So this is about much more than one illegal boat strike, and I hope people understand that.
Do you expect to be able to review video, drone video of the strikes on the boat as you and your Republican colleagues pursue accountability here?
That is one of the many things that we are demanding. First, we want a full explanation about what happened, and we want to know the chain of command and the legality behind it. And by the way, for Secretary Hegseth to be the tough guy persona that he is, and then when this happened goes, oh, that was Admiral Bradley's call. No. This was Secretary Hegseth's call. We want to know what the rules of engagement were. We want to know what the chain of command was and how this was laid out. And yes, we want all the videos, all the background mail, everything that went into this decision, and everybody that was part of that chain of command to explain themselves. On this, and again, I think on all of these boat strikes, where this is going, why it is being done, and what is the legal justification in their minds.
Congressman Adam Smith of Washington, ranking Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee. Sir, thanks very much for your time tonight. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate the chance.